The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. When you look at this Browns defense,
they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Now Burrow. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play. The Bengals at 8-1 on the year. They've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Running right, here's Brown. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 27-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 27. Burrow will throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. Well, this defense for the Browns, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Burrow looking to pass. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Gun. Stop. 11 empty. 11 empty.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Chase Brown with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Bengals marching right down the field on their opening drive to take the early lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now a run. Here's the rookie from Penn State.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Just need a yard here. Second and 1. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to have a Browns first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Dances by him. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they tried to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
You talk about this Bengals defense.
And they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Got a man, it's Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard.
Burrow going to keep it on the sneak. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Now the 1st carry for Zach Moss.
And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengal TD.
Zach Moss,
his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a first and 10 at the 38.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Gets this out quickly to Dotson.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Second and 5. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
He connected on his first, this from 41.
Patterson's kick is good.
And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
An inside give, Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now a short one to Gesicki. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right.
Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
And from the 41, this is 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
On point, ready?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
That's a nice job right there. Get the ball out to the perimeter. Get it to your guy in space. And he's just going to take this, turn upfield, and turn it into a big play in 1st and goal.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Brown will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And McPherson on for the extra point.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Browns drive about to get started.
1 second, all that remains.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
From the 38 now, here's second and a couple. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Here's second and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 114 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. They're going to look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Browns are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead to 21-17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Open man, that's Gesicki down the field.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
This is going to be a corner route to their tight end, and I'll tell you what, it's man coverage, so that makes it hard for a linebacker to stay with him. And he's able to make the catch on the right side of the field and pick up the first down.
Throw left side complete. That's Brown. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Burrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go. 11 MP.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Jamar Chase with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Inside the 10.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Battle. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go play action with Burrow. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here we go.
Moss on the give up the middle.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Burrow on play action.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23.
They'll go up the middle here with Moss.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Right back to Moss.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later.
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Another run for Brown on second down.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So this